Good morning to you all. Am I audible? Can you please check if I'm audible? Thank you, Raymond. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you. Very good morning to you, students. I am going to share something in the chat box. I hope you all would have enjoyed your 75th Independence Day celebration with a lot of programs in the television, and we also at Aichunchani organized a lot of events. So please look into the chat box, all of you. There is a YouTube link that we did. The program was done yesterday, so I request all of you to click this YouTube link and subscribe, give your likes, and please put some comments on it. Some good, nice, informative, something like that. Please look into the chat box. There is a YouTube link. Click the YouTube link and give your likes, and please subscribe to it. It's a college YouTube, and you're all students of this institute, and we really value your likes, we value your subscription and your comments. Please put up some comments like very informative, good, or happy 75th Independence Day celebration, something like that, something meaningful you can give. I'm once again typing in the YouTube link. Can you all give a thumbs up in case if you have given your likes or subscriptions or comments? Okay, thank you. Thank you. Most of you are doing it. Some of you have done it. Very good. Much appreciated. So we are going to send this YouTube link to National Council for Hotel Management. Thank you, Anshu. So, they also will review this YouTube and they will actually check if we have given the likes or whether students had participated or not. So your likes are very, very important. So those who have just come, I'll once again post the YouTube link. Please look into the chat box. Those who have just recently joined. In this chat box, I have put up a YouTube link. Click the YouTube, give your likes, give your comments, and please subscribe. And today, you will not be having food production class. You will be having a different class today. We will be having people from, sorry, just a minute. So we will be having a guest lecture, not a guest lecture, a very informative session on the Bureau of Indian Standards. So we will be having speakers today. So that will go on, and if time permits, I will be taking the class also, or AK Chef will join, however it is. So we want your presence and we want your active participation, and you can enjoy the session basically. So the guests will be on the way exactly by 11 o'clock. We will start the session. We appreciate your questions.
₹85 நோட்டாங்க.
So very soon we will be having the speakers with us. We appreciate your patience. Good morning, Durga Prasad sir.
Good morning, sir.
Durga Prasad sir, you're on mute, I think. That's why we're not able to hear you.
Yeah, yes, sir. Now, can you hear me, sir? Good morning. Sir, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining, sir. Shall we start the session, sir?
Yes, sir. 2 minutes, sir. Our Bhavani ma'am is about to join. So we'll inform you. So we'll inform you. Yeah.
All right, sure, sir. Thank you,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
sir. So we have few more new participants. So new participants, you can please look into the chat box. I have posted a link, YouTube link. Please click the YouTube link. Please like, give your comments, and you can subscribe. Give some positive comments. Don't give some adverse comments. But that's an event which we did yesterday, celebrating the 75th Independence Day of our nation. So your views are very important for us. That's going to be recorded by National Council as well. And your comments are even more important. So please subscribe, like it, and give your valuable views and put your comments. Sorry, 1 minute. And students, I also wanted to share something. 18th, we were about to have Starbucks placements, but then due to some reasons, there is no availability of managers to run the pre-placement talk. So we'll be doing it on the month end. Okay, we have the guests from Bureau of Indian Standards with us. Very good morning to you, Bhavani ma'am. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you all?
All good, ma'am. Thank you so much. Happy 75th Independence Day, ma'am. I hope you would have celebrated it in a big way in your organization. Good morning, Ankit. So I hope you would have celebrated yesterday's Independence Day, ma'am, in your organization.
Yes, of course.
All right, all
We
right.
had come here and our regional head, he had hoisted the flag and we were there in the office. Yeah, this is happening always, every August 15 and Republic Day. This is the norm, always.
All right, all right. Very glad to hear that, ma'am. Dear students, let's welcome Bhavani ma'am, who is a senior scientist. And ma'am is working as a scientist with Bureau of Indian Standards, the office which is just right next to our campus. And along with her, we have scientist Durga Prasad, who is also with us to, part of the session. And we also have Dr. Haseen, who's also part of their, office. So the reason behind having scientists with us is, we all knew that we are all into hotel management. We deal with a lot of ingredients. We deal with a lot of, eatables. And as responsible citizens and as responsible professionals, ensuring quality and standard is of utmost importance. Most of the times we overlook that. To ensure that as budding talents, we all be sensitized towards quality products and which are labeled as standard products, we need support, and that support will be now given by the team from Bureau of Indian Standards. And ultimately we will also take the offer of a wonderful opportunity to have standards club, which will also be discussed by Bhavani ma'am today. So let's give a big round of applause and welcome, ma'am. Let's give a lot of smileys and hands and this one's and welcome Durga Prasad sir, Asim sir, and Bhavani ma'am. Welcome you all on behalf of all the students, faculty team, HOD and principal ma'am and sirs. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity to hear from you as to what BIS is all about and what the Standard Club is
Yes.
all about. The floor is all open to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Eugene, sir. And it is again so nice, and I feel so happy to connect back with the Institute of Hotel Management. We had visited in the last week of March, when it was just a day before we had just mailed, and immediately it was accepted. And thank you, IHM, Mr. Eugene, and the management for responding so quickly. And that shows your commitment to quality standards and standardization aspect. Now, now again, during that meeting, I had actually told that BIS is in the process of forming standards clubs in all educational institutions. And I'm very happy that IHM is the first college which has accepted to form the standards clubs. Now, talking about standards clubs, we had written and your college had told that initially they need to have a acclimatization program so that the students identify themselves with what is standard. Okay, standards club. What is a standards club? What is a standard? Standard is something what we have finished in school, no, right? First standard, second standard, till 12th standard we have finished. And now what is this standard? Fine. So this is the question everybody must be having in their minds. Okay. So I will just tell you what is a standard. A standard is something, a kind of a norm. You feel that, I will explain you with an example. Okay. I will ask you some questions like why certain things are like that, so that will set the ball rolling and you'll start thinking. Fine. So I had earlier also asked, have you seen the 3-pin plug? I would like to take the same example. Have you seen the 3-pin plug? The pin, which is a 3-pin plug, has 2 pins at the bottom and 1 pin at the top. Have you ever thought why the pin at the top is longer than the pins at the bottom? First thing. And second thing is, why is it having a bigger diameter than the pins at the bottom? So this is something which is found in all the 3-pin plugs. This question, if you start thinking, then second question I'd like to ask is like your cell phone chargers. Are all the chargers same? Do you feel that the charger of a Apple cell phone can be used for charging a Samsung phone or a Redmi phone or a OnePlus phone? There is some change, right? And do you think it is desirable? Similarly, any 3-pin plug can be put in any other socket. The socket is also designed in such a way. Have you ever thought this? Why is it so? This is because of standards. This is because a 3-pin plug can be used anywhere. Anywhere you go, you can just plug on. You just have to have a switch and a plug, which can be, and wherever you are, you can use your equipment. The plug will go into the socket. So there is a kind of standardization which has been built inside the product, that is the plug as well as the socket. And why is it bigger? Why is it larger? Here you will have to see the safety aspect. The bigger upper pin is called the earth pin. Fine. So the earth pin ensures it is longer and is of bigger diameter. So when you insert a plug into the socket, the first pin which touches the socket end, the socket end will be the earth, which means that the person who is using the plug, who inserts the plug into the socket, is already given protection for earth. Why is earth given? Why is the earth pin required? It protects against electric shock. So the aspect of safety is built in the product. How? By making the diameter of the earth pin and the length longer, so that it ensures safety first. Once the earth pin touches the socket, after that only the other two pins will be touching the socket. So the aspect of safety is given prominence here, and the customer who is using the plug is protected against electric shock. So this is an aspect of standardization in respect of safety, which has been incorporated in the product. And the second example which I asked is whether the chargers of cell phones are same. It is not same and it is not desirable, which means that every time you buy a phone, you'll have to buy an exclusive charger for that. So I wish to say that an aspect of standardization has not been done in respect of chargers of phones. Thereby, the cost of charger is always added to the cell phone whenever you go and buy the charger. Otherwise, you can have one charger and keep on changing the phones. So which the aspect of this standardization is not done in case of chargers. So I gave you an example of what is standardization and where the standardization has been taken care and where it has not been taken care. Fine. And there are so many things which you can observe in your surroundings. You must have seen there is a major difference between your heights of doors. Like when you go to big offices, you find the doors are very high. And in your houses, the door size is different. The height of the height of the door varies. So similarly, but certain things are standardized. If you go to temples also, you have this agama vidhi. How a temple has to be built, agama vidhi. So that is also a kind of standard. So that is a kind of code of practice. That's a kind of a practice which has been followed for centuries, for ages. So this standardization is an aspect which has been born with us and we have been cultivating through ages. Fine. So with all this, when was BIS formed? That question crops up, and why? What is this standards club and why should I be a part of it? That's the question, right? So BIS is the national standards body, which means that we are the organization which makes the standards for the entire country, right? There are British Standards Institute, which is BSI. BSI is British Standards Institute. Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS is Bureau of Indian Standards. Fine. So we came into existence. Same. We also are celebrating our Amrit Utsav, which means 75 years of existence. So we also came into existence in 1947, much before our August 15, that is independence. We came into existence on January 6th, and that is why that day we celebrated with so much of pomp, and we call it as the National Standards Day. And we are going to celebrate this 1970, that is the 75th anniversary, in a very grand way. And we also have a lot of things like planned for our Amrit Utsav. Amrit Utsav is your 75th anniversary. And we were at that time called the ISI, Indian Standards Institution. And ISI is the Indian Standards Institution. Now you must be thinking, okay, there is something called ISI mark. And what is the relation between ISI Indian Standards Institution and the ISI mark. You are absolutely right. ISI mark is what we give as license. We call ISI mark as a standard mark, and we grant license to the manufacturers for using the ISI mark. And now the Indian Standard Institution is now named as Bureau of Indian Standards. From when? From the year 1986, when this organization, in 1947, when it was a registered society, became a statutory body. A statutory body is like by the implementation of an act called the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 1986. 1986 is very important because that was the year the National Consumer Act was promulgated, and that year is very important. So from the year 1986, this act has again got modified, it has got revised, and it is now called the Bureau of Indian Standards Act 2016. So from 1986, this organization became Bureau of Indian Standards. But then the ISI mark, which was very much familiar with the people of the nation, ISI mark, which is synonymous with quality, we didn't want to change that. So we retain the ISI mark on the products. It is symbolic of quality of the product. And what is this symbolic of quality? What does it mean? It means that BIS, as I told, is a national standards body which makes standards for all the products. I will give you an example like how a standard is formed. Let us consider the example of a pen. I had come and earlier I had given an example of packaged drinking water. I will now take a different example of a pen. What characteristics as a consumer would you expect from pen? PEN, pen. There should be, first thing is, we will go by the subjective requirements. First thing is, I must be able to hold it properly. So it shouldn't be too fat, it shouldn't be too thin, right? It should be comfortable to hold it. And how long it should be? It shouldn't be too long, it shouldn't be too short. Fine. So can we fix a length for a pen? Okay. Then can we fix the diameter for the pen? Yes, we can fix. And then should it have a cap? Yes. You want it to be a 2-piece pen or a 3-piece. So you can decide. So, and then you can keep the refill or the ink. What should be the quality of it? What should be the quality of the liquid inside the pen? So this can be fixed. And then when you write, there should be a free flow of ink. It shouldn't be flowing too fast and it shouldn't be flowing too slow. And what should be the life of a pen? All these things are requirements. These requirements are debated. These requirements are debated by whom? By a committee. Fine. So a committee means a committee which is related to the pen, to the product. Here the product is pen. Here a committee which is related to the pen. A pen, who could be the people who are related to a pen? It should be a manufacturer, yes, who manufactures a pen. And then the person who is using it, ultimately the consumers. Fine. And then to test all the requirements, you need a person like a laboratory. Fine. So we can have a laboratory. And then in order to have some research person, we need to have some research people. Yes, they say that no, this ink is better, that ink is better. And the surface finish of this ink is good. And then the viscosity of this liquid is good. To talk about these technical aspects, you need to have some people from the technical departments. Yes, we can have them. So a standard for a simple product of pen is done to a committee which comprises members from the manufacturers, from the researchers, from the testing departments, and most importantly, the consumers, because they are the people who are going to use the pen. So it is a committee. Then what is BIS doing? BIS claims that it is the national standards body, but all these things are done by committees. Then what is the role of BIS? Yes, BIS is the one which brings together all these people. It is the one who identifies the people, the people who comprise the committee, the main committee. This is identified by the people. BIS does makes them, brings them together, does the real aspect of talking, the debating, and finally to arrive at a particular point. You must really note one important thing here is all these points are debated, but ultimately what forms a standard is what everyone agrees to. When everyone agrees to a point, only then it is brought into the standard, and that method is called consensus method. Fine. Whereas in International Organization for Standard, which is ISO, you must have heard of ISO standards. There even Bureau of Indian Standards is a member on behalf of India. There the method followed is not consensus, but it is through voting. The major difference between BIS and the International Organization for Standardization, which is ISO, is BIS follows the aspect of consensus. That is, we discuss, we agree to our differences. That's an even challenging job for BIS. So all the people say the pros and cons, they discuss it, and BIS is the member secretary of the Bureau of Indian Standards. His role is to make them agree to one particular point, which will be mentioned in the Indian standard. So ultimately, when a standard comes, it will be agreed by all the people, and then only it is published as a standard. Fine. So this is how an Indian standard is written, and you must be thinking, I just give you how many standards have been formulated by BIS? More than 20,000 standards have been formulated by BIS. And one curious thing which you would like to know is, what is the first Indian standard? The first Indian standard, that is IS-1. IS-1 is for the Indian national flag. So as a mark of respect for the flag of India, the first standard IS-1 was formulated for the Indian national flag, which is in cotton and cotton khadi. So the material is told, and the three colors. What are the three colors of the flag? Saffron, white, and green. They are defined. What is saffron is told in the standard. What is the green color? That is also told in the standard. Fine. So this, we must be very proud. We are indeed so proud. For the past 75 years, we keep telling in all the programs that IS-1 is the standard which is formulated for the Indian national flag for by the Bureau of Indian Standards. So now, what is the role of standards clubs? The idea is, I told you that BIS identifies members of technical committees. Now, what we feel is this aspect of standardization must be taught at the entry level itself. That is, there's a term, no, catch them young. Catch them young. That is, you tell anything. Tamil I don't know how many people understand Tamil. Tottil padakkam sudugadu varai, which means that you teach something in childhood, it is there till their in their minds. So we want the students to be a part of this standardization. Now, just I gave you an example of a pen. You can think of something else, a blackboard. Okay, now you're not coming to the college, so blackboard is not there. You can think of some interesting product of your choice. Say, for example, idli, something which maybe a food item where you would like to make a standard. So this could be done as a project. Right? So with this idea in the background, we thought that children of colleges and schools also, from the class of 9th standard and colleges from all the years, must be involved in the aspect of standardization. So with this basis only, the standards clubs have been formed. Okay. And now, like I would like to make a presentation on the standardization of food. So Eugene, would you like to have I'll make a quick presentation on the food standards, and after that we can have how to see the standards, and then we have an app, mobile app, a small presentation on that also. Fine. With this in background, we will tell you. I will just. Would you like to have a presentation on food? Mr. Eugene?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here, ma'am.
I'm unable to hear. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Why I'm not able to hear? Huh? Uh-huh. I'll join in this. Yeah,
Ma'am,
I'll make a.
audible.
Yeah. Now I'm audible. Yeah. This is too low. So this I want to make a. Are you able to hear us, sir? Are you able to hear us?
Absolutely, ma'am. You're perfect.
Yeah. Now we'll have a presentation on how to see the standards from, how to download the standards from Bureau of Indian Standards. And after that, we will have a presentation on the mobile app. And finally, I'll make a presentation on the food standards which are in BIS, because you should be aware of what is happening in the food and agricultural department. If you see the technical committees I was talking about, we have 16 types of committees, 16 in the sense 16 subjects under which the standardization aspect takes place. And I'm very proud to inform that the Food and Agricultural Department, we call it as FAD, has the highest number of standards. They account for more than 10% of the Indian standards, which is more than 21,000, I told you. More than that, more than 10% of those standards are pertaining to the Food and Agricultural Department. And this Food and Agriculture Department has a lot of standards which cater to various aspects of food. So that will be the last presentation we will be making. And now there's a small presentation on how to see the standards, how to find standards for various aspects of various foods. I mean, various kinds of services and various foods. So the next presentation will be made by Jyotsna. She is a scientist B from the Chennai branch office 1. And you can actually go to our BIS website and you can download the standards. Earlier, the standards were, we were selling the standards. It was of some cost and of course with some good discount for the students, 60% discount for the students. But now all these standards have been made free of cost. And we will let you know how to download an Indian standard free of cost. Only thing is you will have to just make a login. So that presentation will be now made by Jyotsna, who is a scientist B in the Chennai branch office 1. I have Durga Prasad, she's also a very young scientist here. And the next presentation will be made by Jyotsna Priya.
Good afternoon to all. Am I audible? Good afternoon to all. Am I audible?
Audible. Audible. Fine. Correct.
Good afternoon to all. Hello, students. Okay.
Yes,
Now
yes.
I will make presentation on how to download standards on our website. Like our website is bis.gov.in. In this website, you can find all information about our organization, like what is the certification process and how to download Indian standards and what are all the labs recognized by BIS, all information, all these types of information you can find in our website. The website name is bis.gov.in. Now I will show you presentation on how to download standards. Please give me 5 minutes to share my PPT. Some technical error is here. Like there are more than 20,000 Indian standards are there. In that, some standards are indigenous standards and some standards are adopted by adopted by ISO. Before this, if anybody wants Indian standard, means they have to pay. They have to pay and they have to get the Indian standard. But now all indigenous standards are made free of cost. You can simply go to our website and download the standard whatever you want. Yeah, this is the main page of our website.
You can just note down the website of Bureau of Indian Standards is bis.gov.in. Very easy to remember, bis.gov, which is a short form of government, .in. IN stands for India. bis.gov.in. Sorry, there's a lot of technical glitch here. We need to, just a moment, please bear with us.
I hope now my screen is visible. Can anyone confirm me whether my screen is visible or not?
No, ma'am, it's not visible, ma'am.
Oh, sorry for the delay, just 5 minutes.
Is the screen visible?
Okay, this is the main web page of main homepage of our website. Here you can find many things. First is standard of the week, next standard of the month. Next, what are all the new standards and the revised standards. And the next one is I'm reading the topmost line in my web page. Next one is know your standards. Here, now I will explain about this tab, know your standards. In this tab, you can find all the Indian standards. And in spite of that, you can find what are all the licenses related to that Indian standard and what are all the gazetted notices. Gazetted notices means quality control orders. Suppose central government can make some products as mandatory products. That list of products also you can find in that tab. I'm just clicking on that. Clicking on that know your standards tab. Then a page like this will come. Here it will ask for search, whether you can search by IS number. IS number means Indian standard number, or search by keyword. Suppose if you know the Indian standard number, you can search by Indian standard number. Otherwise, anyhow you can know you know the product name. Like suppose you want to search for a drinking water, then you can simply write drinking water here, and after that you can click on search button. Then the standards related to drinking water all will be listed out there, and you can find your related standard, and you can download and you can see all the information about that standard. Here I just searched for 4246. So I mean, after entering 4246 in the search tab, all the information will come like this. Suppose these are the basic details. What is the IS number? What is the IS title? And whether it is indigenous standard or whether it is adopted standard. Adopted standard means some standards are developed by ISO. Suppose for a particular product, already standard was there in ISO, means we will adopt that standard. Otherwise, a indigenous standard will be developed by Bureau of Indian Standards. Then after that, number of revisions. Suppose a standard will be suppose this standard was formulated a long ago, means suppose 1990s, like that. Then after every 10 years or 5 years, based on the popularity of the product, Bureau of Indian Standards will revise that standard based on the changes in that product, based on the advanced technologies and all. By considering all those, Indian BIS will revise that standard, and the number of revisions of that particular standards, that information also will come here in the basic details. Next, suppose for the standard any amendments are there, that amendment details also will come here. And next, aspect, there are different types of standards. This standard is product specific. Some standards are code of practice. Suppose the installation of electrical wires. For installing electrical wires and all, BIS is having a code of practice. In that, the information on how to install ground cables or electrical wiring, all those information, like how to install those cables, that code of practice will be there in the standard. Some standards are here this is product specific. This means this 4246 standard, suppose cooker is there, how to manufacture that cooker, and what are the safety aspects, what are all the tests to be conducted. All this information will be there in the product specific standard. And next is language, and next is technical department. As Bhavani ma'am told, there are 16 technical departments are there in our BS. Example, mechanical, civil, food and agriculture, like that, electronics, electrical, like that. Different technical departments will be there based on the department, the standard, they will develop the standards. And the member secretary details all will be here. Next, in other details, you can find these styles. First one is Indian standard, next one is amendment, next one is gazetted document, all this. After clicking on this Indian standard, it will show like this, 4246. This one is standard name, and this is domestic gas stoves for use with liquefied petroleum gases. This means all we are using right in our homes, that gas stove. This is the specification, product specification of that gas stove. What are all the tests, what are the safety tests to be conducted on that domestic gas stove? All information will be there in this standard. Suppose if you want to download this standard, here it is asking login to download. You have to click on this login to download. After that, this a page like this will come. Here you can enter your name and password. Suppose if you are having account with BIS means, you can use your username and password and you can download. Otherwise, you have to register with BIS. For this, you have to click on new registration. Then it will ask for basic details. Suppose your email and what is the password you want to set, and what is your first name, last name, designation, and mobile number. Some simple, very simple basic details it will ask, and you can, by submitting those details, you can create an account with our BIS and you can freely download our Indian standards. After creating an account, you just please log in and click on this Indian standard tile. And after that, you can download, like by clicking on the download standard, you can simply download the Indian standard. Next, we will see amendment. Suppose for this 4246 Indian standard, there are 4 amendments. After clicking on this amendment tile, here in bottom, all amendments are listed out. You can simply click on this download button and you can see the amendments also. Here next, gazetted document. This LPG gas stove is made under mandatory product, because it is a it deals with direct consumer safety. So keeping consumer safety on mind, central government made this as mandatory product. So everyone who is manufacturing this LPG gas stove must have a BIS license. Without the BIS license, they should not manufacture this LPG gas stove. This is the in this gazetted document, that order will be there. You can find the government order in this gazetted document. You can download here also. You can read also. Like, next tab is licenses. Total 716 number of licenses are there all over India. After clicking on the license tile, you can find the list of manufacturing units like this. Total 716 licenses you can find here. Next, after that, product manual. This is also a document. It will be developed based on the Indian standard. In this document, too many details will be there, like what are all the test equipment. Like, suppose someone wants to manufacture this like LPG gas stove, he can go through this and he can arrange a laboratory based on the test equipment given in this product manual. And in this product manual, what are all the tests to be conducted with respect to safety also will be given. This product manual is for manufacturers. I mean, for the simplicity, we will make this document based on the Indian standard. Next, laboratory information will be there. What are all the BIS recognized laboratories all over India? That list will come here. And next, classification details. These are all the laboratory lists. BIS Central Laboratory. This will be in like in those all in this all 10 labs. This product will be tested. Next, these are the classification details. Like, here you can find a short common man's title. Like, suppose in standard, all are in technical terms only. Common man cannot understand the technical terms. So for every standard, this short common man's title also will be there. For this, it is domestic gas stove for use with liquefied petroleum gases. Like this. Here you can find all details. And these are all the, like, next tile is cross-reference details. Suppose if you click on this tile, this list will come. What are all the Indian standards which are cross-referred in that particular 4246? That may be Indian standard and that may be international standards also. The list of standards will be given in this tile. Next, this is related to like committee, like stakeholder involvement and all. Last time this information will be given. Thank you. Like this, you can search about a particular Indian standard in our Know Your Standards file. If you are having any doubts, you can ask me, please.
So you must have got fairly an idea like how an Indian standard can be downloaded and how it can be searched and what are the number of licenses. Now, I was just telling like about the Food and Agriculture Department, which is functioning in BIS. So just we will have a like overview of what is actually the work of the Bureau of Indian Standards, Food and Agricultural Department. So this slide, are you able to see my slide now? Where is this? I'm there, no? So are you able to see, no? I'm audible also. So as you all know, the Bureau of Indian Standards, these are all the preliminary slides which I've already told you. We started on 6 January 1947 and we became BIS in 1986 from ISI. And our main objective is consumer protection through upgradation of industry. And the major activities, I just told you about what is standardization, what are the benefits of standardization, and what are through examples of the socket, plugs, etc. And I told you what is the first Indian standard, which is for the national flag of India. And we have standards formulation in 16 technical departments, and they are the technical departments: chemical, civil, electronics and information technology, electrotechnical, food and agriculture. And I'm very proud to say that food and agriculture has got the maximum number of standards. Out of 21,000, 10% is food and agriculture only. We had explained like how to write an Indian standard. Here the example is that of water, where we found the number which is the Indian standard, the number which has been allocated to water, packaged drinking water, is 14543. In case of national flag, it is 1. And in case of packaged drinking water, it is 14,543. So IS stands for Indian Standard. You can just see the packaged drinking water bottles which you must be purchasing, and the 20-liter containers, PET jars which you must be pertaining in your homes, that will carry the ISA mark with the IS number above it. And these are the basic requirements, like water you must be having physical, chemical, toxic, microbiological, pesticide residues and radioactive residues. And these are some of the limits. There are more than 72 parameters. I have listed only a few from each of the characteristics. That is, from the physical characteristics, I have listed pH. From chemical, I have listed total dissolved solids, nitrate, iron. And in case of yeast and mold, they form part of the microbiological parameters. So a generally standard, Indian standard is a document which must contain the requirements, and requirements in the sense what should be the characteristics of the product. And in case the characteristic requires certain limits, it has to be told. And once the requirements are listed and how to test them, so the tests have to be told in the standard. So the writing of this document which is an Indian standard, the writing of this document is called the standards formulation aspect. The entire activity of writing, creating this document is called standards formulation. As I told you, who are involved? The representatives from the industry, there is the manufacturers, the research and development organizations, testing laboratory experts, the government departments, and most importantly, the consumers. Fine. So these are the two important marks. Hallmark, we thought we will talk. Okay, fine. Time permits, we will talk about hallmark. And government makes, Jyotsna was talking about mandatory BIS compulsory certification. So as on date, there are 374 products which are under mandatory certification. What is mandatory? Generally, out of 21,000 products, about 1,000 of them are under certification. That means that we can grant BIS license against the products. Of these 1,000 products, 374 are compulsory, which means that a manufacturer has to compulsorily obtain the BIS certificate, that is BIS license, before manufacturing this product. So they are grouped under these sections, that is the infant milk, substitutes, cement, cables. These are all brought under BIS mandatory certification, not by BIS, but by the Government of India, because they are very important in terms of safety, in terms of health, in terms of environment, in case of like protection of national interests, etc. So these are brought by the Government of India. Recently, mandatory things which have been made are the helmets, pressure cooker, and your gold jewelry also. Gold jewelry hallmarking has been made mandatory from June 16th. Fine. So how to find a mandatory product, that Jyotsna just displayed a while ago. And now coming to the aspects of Food and Agriculture Department. So this is the ISI mark. The ISI mark carries two numbers, one above and one below. The number which is above is the Indian standard for the product on which it is put, and the number below is the license number which is given to the manufacturer of this product. So this is the complete ISI mark. So now this IS 1011 pertains to biscuits. You can see some biscuits carry ISI mark. So IS 1011 is the standard for biscuit. IS stands for Indian standard, and the number below is the license which is given to the manufacturer. So these are some standard marks which can be misused by some people. So we take action against them. We carry out raids and then punish them under the BIS Act. So coming to the Food and Agricultural Division, broadly there is standardization in the following aspects: soil management to Ayurveda. So this is something, the last one I would like to, last portion, the first part is concentrating on the agricultural aspects. You can just concentrate on the second half, which talks about fisheries, food processing, food and feed safety management, and biotechnology for food and agriculture, drinking water, and Ayurveda. As I told you, more than close to 2,100 standards are there, and of which 12 standards of food and agriculture are under mandatory certification. And you can see here the distribution of standards. A standard could be a product specification, or it could be a code of practice. We have, in case of food, we have an important code of practice, which is good practices, good hygiene practices, which is very essential in case of a food industry. The standard is available free of cost. All the students can download it. The good hygiene practices which are to be followed in a food industry, that has been brought out as a code of practice. So this, we have 9% of Food and Agricultural Department has codes of practices, and then 64% is product specifications. Like for milk powder, you have a standard. So that's a product. Milk powder is a product. Packaged drinking water is a product. Likewise, 64% of the 2,100 standards of the FAD pertain to product specification, and some are method of test. Method of test is like how to find out the aflatoxin in a particular product. So that's a method of test. So such standards are also there here. And under FAD, there are about sectional committees. Below the major 16 division councils, there are sectional committees. Likewise, there are 30 sectional committees which have representation from various departments. You can see I have written there the director of ICAR, like that. And I'm sure that some people from your Indian Institute of Hotel Management or Indian Culinary Institute would also be a member. If not yet, you can become a member, and you can apply to our BIS portal to become a part of the standardization. I'm sure that many of the faculty of Institute of Hotel Management would be interested, because you must be dealing most of the products in detail for teaching. You can also become a part of BIS standardization by becoming a part of, you can log in through the BIS website itself to become a part of the standardization for drinking water. Coming to the products, we have standards for drinking water. You just can note down these numbers, and you can search also. I think Jyotsna gave you some methods to search the standard also. You can see here for iodized salts, we have standards. I'm just rushing because we want some time for question and answer. We have food additives, and for sugar industry, you must note here that the state governments have referred the standard in their tender documents. The UP government, that is the Uttar Pradesh government, has made this code of practice in their tender recommendations. And for black tea, different types of tea we have standard. For different types of coffee, we have standard. And spices, I would like to say that spices, we have made a great inroad. We are actually hosting the international organization of a standardization committee for the spices and condiments. And with regard to this fruits, we have lots of standards. Storage of fruits. Now, this has taken a prominence in case cold storage of fruits and vegetables has actually taken, and we have got a lot of standards developed for this. And for meat products also we have, fish products we have, and for dairy industry also we have. And with regard to, I just wanted to show you one important thing, which is the foods. It is based on the IS 15,000, which is hazard analysis and critical control points, which is essential for any organization in the food chain. And I'm told that you have a big kitchen, not only here, as well as your Indian Culinary Institute. You can just download the standard, but this standard, ISO, is not free because it is an international standard. So anyway, nevertheless, you can buy the standard and you can just look into it and you can come for certification. So the rest all is with regard to the agriculture aspect, which I'm sure may not be within the curriculum of your college. So with this, we come to the end of this FAD, and now a small presentation by Durga Prasad on mobile app, which is the BIS Care app. I just
Good morning to all the participants, sir. So now I think the application is open for you. So can you see the screen, sir? Yes. So I got a confirmation. So this is basically about BIS Care app. So till now, our scientists have already explained on you like how to search for a standard and how to check a standard and download the standards. So now we are BIS is making it very feasible for all of the young millennials, so that you can on your mobile app itself you can see the various features of BIS. So for this one, we launched a new mobile application app which is known as BIS Care app. So the normal procedure of downloading this, as mentioned as a normal procedure, like yes, you can now you can see you can see the screen. First go to Google Play Store, and then as you are downloading any other app, just type BIS Care. So once you type BIS Care app, on the right side of the screen, you can see, so the interface will come to you and you click on the install. So it is a normal process. And once you install, as already explained by Ms. Joshna, you have to create a login credentials. So the login credentials are at the left, you can see sign up option. And in the sign up option, once you click on sign up, there are various basic details that you have to submit to register, like your name, mobile number, email, and the OTP which has been sent to your registered mobile number. So with this simple process, you can register into BIS Care app. And then, so now this is the home screen, which you can see, like, so it will be logged in. For example, here in this case, Jagdishan. So it says, welcome Jagdishan. And then there are various features for you, like what is the home application and our offices. So as you can see in the rightmost screen, so there are various offices, like around 32 branch offices in and around India. So these are the various locations. So you can see the locations as well. So this is the home screen of BIS Care app. So in the home screen, there are various tiles for you. So these tiles are basically the giving the details about the licenses, the gold hallmarking, and also it will provide you with an interface for giving complaints. So we'll check one by one. So the first one, licensee details. So as already explained, for example, if you bought a water bottle, so when you are on your way home now, you bought a water bottle and you wanted to check whether the water bottle is of good quality or not, the water in the bottle. So then you can just open the BIS Care app. You can also download the app now itself, so that you can just run through the app while I was discussing with you. So in the licensee details, the first one is licensee details. So as already explained by Bhavani ma'am, so you see the BIS mark, ISI mark on the water bottle, and there are two numbers on it. The top number is the IS number and the bottom number is the license number. So license number is 11-digit number for the new licenses. And once you enter the license number, for example, in the screen you can see the example number is 6700078417. So this is an example for domestic gas stove. So similarly, if you want to check for a water bottle also, you can check. So what are the details that are coming, like what is the name of the manufacturer and address of the manufacturer. So where is the product being manufactured, and then the district, state, and the name of the product. So there you can see the validity of each licensee. So for example, if you are buying the water bottle, then you can check the validity, whether the firm which has been manufacturing this product is valid, or it is having a valid license or not. So you can see the validity, and also the varieties covered. Like for example, 1 liter, so there are various types of water bottle. So those are like 500 ml, 1 liter, 2 liter, 20 liter jar. There are various varieties, and what is this particular manufacturer is covered up to. And you can check the brand name also, whether the brand name is correct or not. And the most important thing is current status. So as it's already mentioned in this screen, it should always be operative. Okay, if the licensee, when you check the details and the licensee status is that it is being under stop marking or under suspension, so then you have to check about the quality of the product. Okay, then you have to worry. But unless as long as it is operative, there is no issue with the quality of the product. So this is how you can check the licensee details, and this is applicable not only for just water, any of the product which is carrying ISI mark, any product, like as I already explained, like domestic gas stoves or your pressure cookers or your mixer grinders, any product like even the iron machines, anything which is having an ISI mark can be checked here. Okay, so the next one. So next one again, verify hallmark. So when you want to go and buy jewelry, so where if you have a worry that whether it is of the required quality or not, whether it is having pure gold or not, like usually the gold quality is 22 carat, that is 916. So it is already marked on the every gold jewelry. But now if you want to check whether the jeweler who's giving you the gold, who's selling you the gold, is of valid or not, then you can same process, you can ask him for the license. But here it is known as certificate. Okay, you can ask him the certificate number, and then you can enter in the search option. So once you enter the search option, once you enter the certificate number in the search option, you will get the details like what is the name of the jeweler, address of the manufacturer as mentioned, and district, state, IS number, and validity. So similarly, as for the licensee details, you can also for gold hallmarking. And there are, as you can see, there are total of 6 tabs in the home screen of BIS Care app. So now we have covered 2, licensee details and hallmark details. Now in the third one, verify registration number under CRS. So now this is because we are now, all of us are using the electronic devices. For example, now I think I was very pretty sure that all of you are attending your webinar through either mobile app or through a laptop. So in these both these devices, there is a registration number. So you are being assisted by BIS now itself, right now at this moment, because the mobile phone in your hand or the laptop which is you are using for webinars, it is already having a registration mark. And after the session, you can just overturn the laptop or the mobile phone, and there you can see a mark which is being shown on the screen. Like it is a self-declaration of conformity mark. So where it is mentioned that like it is being tested for quality of the product, mainly in the safety standards. For example, previously we used to have the situations where the incidents like the mobile phone has been blasted in the hands or mobile phone has been blasted in the handbag. But now these incidents are very rare because BIS is taking care. So the fourth one is find registered another option is registered manufacturers. Registered manufacturers, like here, yeah, for example, here you can see whether it is lapsed or operative, because in the previous 2 options we have shown you the examples where it is an operative status, but here you can say it is lapsed status. And there are various registration numbers, like these are mainly for only electronic devices, and these are whether here you can check the operative status as operative or lapsed. Operative means they can produce the devices, and lapsed means they should not use this registration number. So now we have explained you about these licenses and all, licenses, hallmarking, and the registration number. So now, for example, you bought a water bottle and you check the licensee details, and if it is a suspended case, and you don't know about the quality of the water, then you can raise a complaint. Not only in that case, in any other misuse. If you found, like for example, again you bought a domestic gas stove in your house, and even when you are operating it for the first time, it is not being functioning. Okay, of course it is covered by warranty if you are buying in any store, but still you can give a complaint under complaint for BIS for checking the quality, because it is ISI marked. We will compensate you as well. Okay, so now I'll tell you the very important process of how to give a complaint in the BIS Care app. So as you can see in the left screen, there is a complaints tab, and once you given in the complaints, there is an option for you to add complaint. And once you click on giving a new complaint, there are various options like misuse of ISI mark if it is an ISI product, or misuse of a hallmark on gold products, misuse of registration mark on electronic devices. And if you have a issue about the quality, as I give an example, if the domestic gas stove is not working as well as you thought, so then you can select quality of product or misleading advertisements, or if any other nature. So once you check any one of these options, you can give a complaint. It is a formal complaint, so you have to give your details, like what is the complainant address, that is your address, house number, street, town, city and all, and the complaint details. So what are the complaint? If it is a gold product on the hallmark, so you can type it as gold, or if it is a article type means water, ISI mark. So here we have checked the hallmark, so it is all related to the hallmarking. So again, you enter the details of the product and the details of the manufacturer or the details of the retailer, because the retailer details will be there. I mean, like where you bought that particular product. So once you enter these details, and additional information option is there. So whatever you thought, whatever you feel like you want to add, you can add. And then there is an option for uploading the documents like JPG and PDF files. For example, you bought a water bottle, and the water bottle inside there are some small sediments which should not be there. So you can take the picture of that water bottle and upload as a proof of the complaint. And once you register this complaint, it will come to us, and BAS will start a formal investigation into the complaint, and we will come to you as well if required. We will come to you, we will meet you, and then we will take the additional details of the complaint, and then we'll process for the complaint for further. And also please make sure that you will be compensated as well. Once the complaint is established, once the complaint is genuine, you will be compensated both in money and as well as the device for your complaint. So please make sure that wherever you find any shortcomings in the quality of the product which is ISI marked, I am again mentioning that this complaint portal is only for ISI marked or registration marked or hallmarked only, so that BAS will take care of you. And then finally, products under compulsory certification. So the sixth tab is products under compulsory certification, which means that those products, as already explained by Ms. Joshna, those products should not be manufactured or sold in India without the BIS mark or the suitable applicable mark. So you can check those products in the products under compulsory certification. This can also be checked in our BIS app. So here you can see, so 12330, 12600, for example, cement. So these cement and all should not, these are very critical for the safety of the consumer. So they should not be manufactured or sold without ISI mark. So those products you can check in the last tab. So once again, I'm showing you the home page. So there are 6 details: licensee details, hallmarking details, registration details, and the find registered manufacturers, complaints, and products under mandatory certification. So after the webinar, I'd request all of you to please install the BIS Care app and then just go through the various features. Thank you. And if you have any queries, so now the webinar is open for questions. You can please ask the queries. And if you feel shy to ask a query, please post the query in the group, in the chat section. Thank you.
The floor is now open for questions. You can start asking the questions.
Students, do you have any questions?
Yeah, see here, number of documents here.
Would you like to ask any questions?
Just coming here, just I'll see that.
Yes, sir.
You can ask the question, sir.
There is
Yes,
a
sir.
question.
Now we have a question from Yash Rathore. Mr. Yash Rathore has a basic question of how can a student be a member of BIS? So it is a very valid question, sir.
Stop sharing your screen. Yash Rathore, can you switch on your camera? That's a wonderful question, Yash Rathod. This is something which we were wanting to tell, and this is a good question. I will just share you a screen here. See, I just go to the Google, fine, and I type here EBIS. Fine. Am I audible? Yash Rathod, I'm just sharing a screen for you. I'm just going to Google and I'm typing EBIS, electronic BIS, and this is the site which is manakonline.in. When you press EBIS, okay, I just go to this EBIS, and here you can see that all the activities of Bureau of Indian Standards is listed. Since your question is how can I become a member of standardization, I just go and click on this standardization. Okay. Here, the various levels of standardization is there. If you want to propose a new standard, that is there in proposal for new standards, and some R&D projects are going on, that is listed here, and review of standards is here. Now here I'd like, here already published standards are here. So I just click here on the published standards. So the number of standards in various departments, that is the 16 division councils, gets listed here. So the 16 departmental councils here are listed, and here you can go and see against food and agricultural departments. As I told you, 2,128 standards are there here. And then I just go back here. There is again a know your standard here. Okay. So here there is something called wide circulation draft. So this is where I'd like to show an important aspect where you can become a part of the standardization. One is wide circulation draft and one is preliminary draft. So first I click on the wide circulation draft. And again, you can just go to your food and agricultural department. And there are 3 documents which are now under wide circulation drafts. I click on that 3 documents. It's very slow. See here. So here it is told Code of Practice for Reduction of Aflatoxin in Raw Materials and Supplemental Feeding Stuffs for Milk Producing Animals. Here the documents are the 3 documents. Second is Industrial Screens Wire Netting for Grading Sugar Specification. And last is Water Quality Enumeration of E. coli, Escherichia coli and coliform bacteria in part 2, which is most probable number method. So here what the details of it is given here. By clicking on it, you can download it, and here there is an option for you to comment. So this is how you become a member of standardization. Am I clear? So Standards Club next, we tell them once. So this is a part of, you can become the member of this. And here also you can search a standard. She told you know how to search a standard. Like you can give the names of the product. If you know the IS number directly, you can give. Otherwise, if you know the name, some name related to the standard also, you can do it here. And there is one scroll which is moving here. Download an Indian standard. So that is what, through another method through which you can download a standard. You can search it either with the search number as well as the title. And you just need a login, which was told earlier. Right? So what is his name? Yash Chopra. What? Yash Rathod. Yash Rathod, I think we have answered your question. How BIS is beneficial for catering industry. Yes, there are lots of standards which are, the same question was asked in the Indian Culinary Institute program. One person told, is there a standard for idli? Is there a standard for dosa? Yes, there is a standard for the batter, the idli batter. What we make? No, there's a standard for it. There are so many people who are using these standards also, and though they might not have taken the certification, but they take inputs from this standard. You can just go and search batter for idli or dosa. There's a standard. You can come back with the number to me. Let me see if you're able to locate it. Fine. Yes, next question. The two people who have joined are fresh out of college, and Jyotsna or Durga Prasad will answer this question. You have to write your gate exam.
Yes, Mr. Jetty Naveen. So the question is that how can we get job in your organization? Yes, sir. So BIS, Bureau of Indian Standards, will recruit annually or biannually. I mean, like once in a year or once in 2 years in with a normal notification. So the basic thing is, because now you are doing the bachelor's, after bachelor's there is an exam called as GATE, Graduate Aptitude Test in Testing Engineering. Yeah. So there is a GATE exam, and after that, once you crack the GATE exam, so based upon your merit list, you will be selected for the interview after your application. So once the notification of BIS comes, then you apply through the BIS portal, and the notification will be released in all the big newspapers, and also you can check that in stage. So there, once you qualify the GATE exam, based upon the merit list, you will be shortlisted for interview, and based on the interview performance, there will be a final merit list will be released by BIS, and then you can join the organization. So it is a very simple thing. After your bachelor's, write the GATE exam, and then you can apply. You can, if you are shortlisted for the interview, based on the performance, you will be shortlisted for the post. And also there are not only just the technical posts, but also there are staff posts, in the sense the section officers and the finance officers. Based on that, so based on your qualification, that is degree is sufficient, so you can apply for the section officer post also. For this also the same, the notification will be released in all the major newspapers, along with you can check it in BS careers webpage. For that, there is a special written exam conducted by BAS. So for the non-technical posts, there is a special exam conducted by BAS, and if you excel in that particular exam, you will be shortlisted for the post. So these are the two posts that are there in BAS: technical and non-technical. For the technical, you come through GATE, and for the non-technical, separate exam by BAS. The notifications which will be released in the portal. I hope I clarified your question. If any other questions, comment, or you can please ask.
Thank you, sir. Briefly explained. Thank you.
Any other questions, sir?
Very, very continue.
Monday. Students, anybody have got any more questions? So, sir, I think they're all clear and they don't have any more questions.
With regard to the standards clubs,
Yes, ma'am.
the thing is like you can have minimum 15 members in
Okay.
your college. Minimum is 15, maximum is your wish.
Okay.
And there must be one student mentor who will
Okay.
be a member of the students club. And there is one team. If the team leader concept, if the number of students is more than 15, then the team leader plus one student member and the mentor will form a group.
Okay.
And BIS will give financial assistance for the students club. Minimum 3 competitions, 3 programs are to be conducted by the college. This can be combined with your annual day or any specific occasion, or can be kept as a separate program. Here you can conduct competitions in the form of quiz or in the form of paper writing competition or essay writing competition. The topics will be given by BIS and the expenditure with respect to the expenses, say for example, in the stationery items that will be reimbursed.
Okay.
And once the standards club is inaugurated in your college, to the students' mentors account number, BIS will transfer the 50% of the amount. And once the expenditure is done,
Okay.
you can claim the balance account. So before that, before conducting any program, I think
Okay.
15 days or 10 days in advance, you have to inform that this is what we are planning to conduct.
Okay.
And minimum 3 programs are to be conducted. Minimum, maximum could be anything. Minimum 3 programs in a year should be conducted. And there are prizes of first, second, third, and consolation, which will be given to the students. And most importantly, of all the standards clubs in a branch, which are actually recognized by the branch, the best students club will get an award, like which has been doing consistently, which are doing in a very good way. That students club, that is the college or the school, will be rewarded in a year.
Okay. Got it.
So these all we have told in the mail. So as a first step, you can identify the student mentor and the members of the club. And once we will have a training program, it's not that just we will push you into the programs. We will have a training program for the mentors and how to go about it. A detailed program will be given.
Sure, ma'am. That sounds great. Yes.
Fine. Any queries, you can just mail it to our mail ID. Maybe it is too much of information we have given today that they are overwhelmed with a lot of information, so they can slowly think about it and ask their questions. And it is within an hour and a half, it's not possible to mention the entire activity of BIS.
Yes.
It needs some time, and that is what the student club is supposed to do. It will give you more information. What we gave is like a capsule. It's just an overview. There are so many things specific to food, which we can take in the subsequent students club activities and all, right?
Correct, ma'am. True.
So if there are no further questions, we can close the session.
Certainly.
And yeah.
Yes. So thank you very much, students, for being active participants in this session. We are wholeheartedly, we wish to thank Bhavani ma'am, Jyotsna ma'am, and Mr. Durga Prasad for, for your valuable presence and contribution, and for educating our students on BIS and Standards Club. We are more than happy to associate, ma'am, and we are more than happy to inaugurate this Standards Club session very soon, at the earliest. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'll pitch in with my students and I will check who are all interested to be part of this, and we will communicate the name list, and we will see to it that interesting programs are conducted, at least 3 programs, in a year, and we will make sure that, we win the best institute
that's great.
award also. Yes, yes. We don't want to miss this opportunity. It's been very motivating that, there are some competitions, and only when we compete, we will also be able to strive hard, and, we'll be able to do well. So thank you very much, ma'am, for your precious time and resources, and for your able guidance and valuable insights. We will definitely be in touch, and you can hear from us very soon in this regard. So students,
Thank you, Eugene, sir. Thank you so much. And we apologize for the technical glitches. There were some issues since morning, and I hope that has not saddened your enthusiasm. I think we will look into this and we will get back again. Thank you so much, Eugene, sir.
thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for your time. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we are just logging out. Huh?
All right, ma'am. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, students, for patiently being there. We are going to have the Standards Club. So you can text me in WhatsApp. If somebody is interested, you can text me in WhatsApp your name. We'll take it forward. At least we would like to have 15 to 16 names. You can please let me know. We will immediately be able to take your names and send it to BIS. Thank you so much, all of you.